Welcome back to Shenington, and this is it, the last race of the season, the KF Junior Championship, and just like in Army Cadet, it's a man-on-man, one-to-one championship battle between Jehan Daruvala and Daniel Ticktum. Whichever of those two drivers wins on the road will be the champion. Ticktum can win it on countback, and Daruvala will beat him on points if he wins it. It's Anam Ahmed on pole position from Daruvala, Ross Martin ahead of Daniel Ticktum on row 2, Harrison Newey and Josh Smith on row 3 with Dean McDonald and Manuel Maldonado on P8 with Alfie Brown and Daniel McCauley. But we're interested in this battle. Daruvala on 7.09, Ticktum on 7.07. Whoever wins on the road wins the championship. And Anam Ahmed has got the lead with a spin at the back. That's Daniel McCauley. He rejoins at the back of the field, and of course he's in the same camp as the leader, Anam Ahmed, the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. Ahmed's gone wide. Is that enough to get Daruvala through? No, it's not. And there's a bit of contact in the back as well as Caroline goes wheel to wheel with Monga. And they manage to get back into position. So Billy Monga holds his position from Jamie Caroline as they head down towards the hairpin once again at Wilkins. Ahmed is leading, Daruvala is second, third is the 33, that is Ross Martin. He makes his move on Daruvala, very nicely done, and Daruvala coming back at him, yellow flags are out. But fortunately, they came out after he made the move, so that's perfectly fine for Martin. He holds on to second place. Daruwala's down to third, in front of, guess who? Daniel Ticktum. And whoever beats the other on the road is going to be the champion. So that's what we wanted to see. Third and fourth, battling for the championship on track. Daruvala makes his move on Martin for second place. Is Ticktum going to follow through as well? Oh, there's a bit of jostling, but Martin holds him off. So Ticktum has now got to make his way past Martin to get back onto the tail of Daruvala. This could not be closer.
This is exactly the same as we had earlier in the day in the Army Cadet race between Oliver York and Alex Quinn. Whoever won on the track won the championship, and at the moment we've got the same situation. The 32 car of the Indian driver Jehan Daruvala and the 51 Daniel Ticktum, they are battling over the championship. Whoever wins on the track, if Ticktum wins, if he was say second and Daruvala third, they tie on points, but Ticktum would win on countback, but he is going backwards. It's a disastrous start at the front end of this race for Ticktum, as Daruwala's now second, and Ticktum there now in fifth place and struggling to get by. Dean McDonald in behind on the 52, Harrison Newey's on the 12. Ticktum's now defending, can't afford to do that, he's got to move forward.
Yeah, and he lost the place there to the 58 of Josh Smith, so that's not going to be easy to make ground up again. Smith in the 58 is no slouch of a driver himself. He's had a pretty impressive season considering that this is his first year in the category, I do believe. And he's going to have a job getting past Smith. He's not going to make it easy for him. Ticktum struggling there to keep in front of Dean McDonald, while Ahmed is out in front, karting champion last year in the cadets, of course. Harrison Newey in the 12, trying to make his way up through the field again on the back of McDonald. He's not quite close enough to make the move, but the Red Bull livery on that kart, obviously he's got an opportunity to get himself up there as well, and it's the last race of the season. Everybody will want a good strong finish, but Ticktum will want it more than most. He needs to get past first Smith, then Martin, and then he's on the back of Daruvala, but that's not going to be easy. Is Martin making his bid on Daruvala? I thought he was going for it, but he's not. And there goes McDonald on the inside of Ticktum. This could not be worse for Daniel Ticktum. He needs to get this done, and he's just going backwards through the field. This really couldn't be coming at a worse time for Jehan Daruvala. It's magic.
And these conditions are the worst conditions. If you're falling behind, they're the worst conditions to make up places and get back. There's Daruvala. Look at that. Ticktum is well back through the field. There he is, the 51 kart. Daruvala has got 3 karts between himself and his championship rival. Nobody else on the track matters. He's just got to finish in front of Daniel Ticktum. There is 2 points between them. Now there's 2 points between first, second, third and fourth, and then 1 point. So providing, if Ticktum's going to beat Daruvala, he's got to get up into the top 3 basically to do it, and at the moment he's floundering down in 6th.
And he's got to be careful because behind him is the Red Bull young gun Harrison Newey, so he's got to be careful that Newey doesn't take him on either. And Newey is fired up for this one. You can see he's already had a bit of a moment on the back. The bumper is not quite as straight as it should be, so it looks like somebody may have driven into him at the start, but he's still going on very strong indeed and getting onto the back of Ticktum. He looks back, he knows where Newey is. He's focusing on McDonald in front of him, but he needs to be wary of where Harrison Newey is. But out in front of this all, Anam Ahmed has the pressure of no pressure at all. He's not in a championship fight this time round. Last year he was, and he sewed up the Coma Cadet Championship, but this time he's just driving for a race win at the end of the season. Harrison Newey really now trying to make his bid on the back of Daniel Ticktum. But Jehan Daruvala in second place 12 months ago at this very track. He blitzed a dry track and saved his place in his team. They basically said, you've got to be, whoever is the strongest driver at the end of the season is going to be the one that stays. Martin makes his move on Smith. Ticktum makes his move on McDonald. So progress made there, but looking like Smith couldn't quite make the move on Martin. Getting a lot of curb there on the way into the right part of the chicane, and Martin's going to be on the back foot now. Smith might have a chance to get him, but no, Jehan Daruvala was the only man who survived from last year's Force India Academy team. They lost Arjun Maini and Taran Reddy. Bit of squabbling here. Oh, bit adjusting. Ticktum nerves Smith wide onto the curb, and now he's got to defend from McDonald. That was a massive lunge. Daniel Ticktum is absolutely desperate. He knows that every passing move here has to count, and I would not be surprised if the stewards have another look at that manoeuvre later on. I don't know whether they'll take any action or not, but that's definitely worth having a look at. Smith makes his move back on Harrison Newey, one of the beneficiaries of that, but Newey looks to get him on the cutback. Oh, Dean McDonald with a chance to get in here as well, but Newey gets back through. Smith is ahead of McDonald, and behind all three of these guys now on the tail we have Billy Monger having made his way back into the fray, but a magnificent jostle for fifth position here between these four as Smith goes for the inside of Newey. Newey runs wide. Smith gets back to the front of this train.
Yeah, all this battling is helping the 8 kart there, Billy Munger. Billy back in the mix now and down the inside and makes a place up. That's Daruvala out front. Ross Martin second, Ticktum third, and he's clear of the rest. That will help Daniel. He's now not going to bother about defending. And Billy Munger is now up to, fifth place. So he's come from a way back, make that fourth place, but spins it out in the Stratford hairpin. Oh, he just caught the back of Harrison Newey, and then too much speed, not enough traction, round he goes.
Very typical of the tricky conditions here at Shenington. Not much at all that Munger could have done about that one. Pretty much blameless. Somebody's got to go in the battle. Unfortunately, it was Billy Munger on this occasion. Now we've got Smith bearing down towards us with Newey. McDonald. Oh, there's contact! Newey's off. McDonald gets away. Oh, there's not much you can really say about that one. Here they come again. Let's look at it. McDonald's on the right. Newey on the left. He just doesn't see him. Newey just doesn't see that McDonald is there. Neither driver at fault at all there. Newey goes for his line. McDonald was on his. And it's just, two drivers going for the same space.
Yeah, nothing Dean McDonald could do about that. He's going for the wide position into the corner to get him on the cutback, on the switchback coming out of the corner. And Harrison Newey just cuts across the front of his nose cone. Nothing Dean could have done. And Harrison, of course, didn't know he was there. So that is a definition of a classic racing incident. No fault for either driver.
Just taking a look at Enam Ahmed, he's checked out here. We haven't even really mentioned him out in front. We've been so busy talking about Daruvala and Ticktum. Here is Ahmed. Look at the big lead he's got here. It's massive over Jehan Daruvala, considering that it was Jehan who dominated here last year. Enam Ahmed is looking very sweet and serene out in front, and it is now the last lap. He's looking to end his season on the highest of highs. A dominant performance from Enam Ahmed. Let's not take that away from him. He may not be in the battle for the championship, but look, he's just set another new fastest lap, 45.92. He is in a class of his own out there. So, last year Daruvala dominated, and then this year it's looking like he's going to win the championship. Perhaps Ahmed is looking to do the same, dominate the last round of 2013 and come back for a title attack of 2014. He's doing a brilliant job out there. There's not enough time for Ticktum to get back into this one. It looks like the championship is decided, but what a drive from this young man. Enam Ahmed has cleaned up at a very dirty surface here, Shenington, with lots of grease, but he dealt with it. What a drive, and he is delighted. But behind him, the 2013 KF Junior champion is Jehan Daruvala. Brilliant job. Ticktum ends up fourth, just not close enough.
Ross, podium finish for the end of the season. Always good to end on a high. What's the plans for next season, though?
We're hoping to do another year KFG, but we're looking to financial prices if we can do Europe, but it's looking like we can only do Britain. We're hoping to get sponsorship, but having this in the last round really helped us. all weekend we were struggling for pace with these fantastic drivers, but I'm just happy to be in the podium with them. Congratulations to Jehan this weekend. I'd just like to thank Right Karts for having the great support this weekend and GFR Engines.
Jehan, fantastic season for you. Congratulations, British champion. How's that sound?
Yeah, I'm really happy because I've worked really hard the whole year and all my hard work's paid off, and I mean it all went to the wire because Daniel, who was my main competitor, was also driving really well, and it all came down to this race, and I held my nerve at the end and managed to pull away from him in the final.
What's your plans for next season now?
I'm going to be doing KF2 abroad in Europe because there's no KF class here, so that's the only thing I'm going to do next year.
And in first place, always a good position to end the championship season.
Oh yeah, it's been such a long and tough year in this British Championship. There may only have been maybe 14, 15 of us, but they're all like the top drivers, in my opinion, in the world. And it was such a tough year, and finally I improved myself, and my confidence level went up. And then to finish the year off with a win is fantastic for me and my dad, my parents, because we wanted that so badly. And I'd like to say thanks to the team, Ricky, for the motor support, my mechanic Boyd, and well done to Jehan for winning the championship.
Well, as you can see from that graphic, Harrison Newey, Dean McDonald and Jamie Caroline all excluded post-race. But Jehan Daruvala is the champion from Daniel Ticktum, and the brilliant Enem Ahmed in third place. Ross Martin, Dean McDonald and Philip Rawson round out the top 6 after an amazing 2013. Roll on next year.
That's it for another Super 1 season in 2013. It's been a cracker. Just a couple of mentions. The best race, the best end we had to any championship season in the last 5 years, the Coma Cadet Championship between Oliver York, Alex Quinn and Tom Wood. York coming out on top in that one. And the best comeback drive we've pretty much ever seen in the last 5 years. That was Dino Lee's comeback drive in Junior TKM at the PF International track, down to 27th in the first hairpin on lap 1, drove it back to second, a cracking drive. But it's been a great season all round. We look forward to bringing you more in 2014. We'll see you then.